This GPE, this Global Partner for Education meeting is completely different because this is the silver bullet. This is the magic potion. This is the panacea. This is the universal cure. This is the Swiss Army knife, complete with Allen key and screwdriver and everything else, that can solve virtually every problem that afflicts humanity. And I'm absolutely serious. If you educate the world, then of course, educate the world properly, educate the world fairly, then of course you end a great natural injustice. But you also, and if you end the injustice that 9 out of 10 people, 9 out of 10 10-year-olds cannot read a story around the country. 132 million kids aren't in school. Or in many of the countries represented here, alas, there are too few girls in school, and there is a gross disparity in the education of boys and girls. And if you end that injustice, and you give every girl in the world the same education as every boy, 12 years of quality education, then you perform the most fantastic benefits for humanity. You lift life expectancy, you lift per capita GDP, you deal with infant mortality, and if you educate people properly in the way that they deserve, then of course you end, or you help to end, all kinds of ignorance and prejudice. And you end also, by educating people, you help to end all the things that ignorance and prejudice helps to create. So you deal with terrorism and with war and extremism, and you help people to tackle climate change. And so I'm immensely proud of the achievements of this GPE summit. And the people we really need to thank and the people we really need to think about are the teachers across the world. The teachers across the world who make or everybody in this room will probably have somebody that you can think of was the teacher who made a difference to your life, who encouraged you, who gave you confidence. Can you think of one, Julia? Mr. Crow, there you go. Well, Julia would not be here without Mr. Crow. Let's hear it from Mr. Crow. Uhuru, I seem to remember. Do you remember when we did that lesson with your pupils in Nairobi? What was the name of it? Mrs. Simpson, Mrs. Roos, and she taught you mathematics. That's right. Well, Uhuru would not be the brilliant president of Kenya without Mrs. Roos, who taught him mathematics. And I owe a lot to all my teachers, but I think in particular of a guy called Mr. Fox when I was about 10 years old. And he took me into the library, and I don't know whether he thought I was in need of remedial help or whether he thought I had potential. It was never clear to me. But he said, I want you to read these books. And it made a fantastic difference and a lasting difference to my life. So I just want to say that the best thing about this summit here today is that we are supporting with huge injections of cash those amazing people across the world who are inspiring young people to think that they can concede.